Hello, everyone, and good morning. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Z Garcia.
We're starting low key.
It's
I heard we were
early.
too high key yesterday.
Calm down.
I am calm.
Calm
My tooth still hurts.
Oh,
down.
man, I'm sorry.
Are you on any of the good stuff today?
Not yet.
Did you
Not
bring
yet.
the good stuff?
It's in my pocket, just in
Oh,
case.
boy.
It's in, just in case. Just
I
in
have
case.
water right
He's
over
one
here for you.
pocket delve away from yesterday.
That was definitely looked like one of those moves that
Or do we
dudes
have a
who work
contest?
out
I don't remember.
makes. The way they
Nope,
do the
no
whole like,
contest. No contest.
is it that way?
Oh,
You
yes,
know what I mean?
yes.
It definitely was like one of those like, it's that thing over there. That's over, and that thing. That's what that was like.
We'll do that at the end of the game stuff. All right. Yeah, we're prepared today. Lots of things going on here. Later on today, we'll be doing our top 30 through 21. That's the last stuff people don't care about.
Right, and that's why we're early for our show that you're watching right now.
That's true. That's true. Well, we got a lot of Kickstarter stuff to talk about. Not really. There's not a ton, but it's growing, and I'm going to talk about one project for a long time. So
Pretty
Let's
much,
do
yeah,
that.
it's the build up for
project.
that project,
Let's do
right?
that.
Yeah.
the project. So
Yeah.
we have a bunch of stuff to jump into. Let's take a look at our games. Here we go. First, we have Samurai Chess Set Modern and New Design. I thought this looked pretty decent, actually, although... Okay, no one...
No, it's a fine idea. I mean, basically, it's an acrylic board, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, the board's fine, and then either STL files,
Right.
or I guess you can get some that he's going to do, that he's basically said, if you get them from me, they're going to be 3D printed, but all... He sounds like he was maybe going to like...
Going to smooth them down, which
Yeah.
makes me think it's going to be FDM printing, which means he's probably not going to smooth many down because it has quite a few people getting it. And so I'm like, are you really going to, I don't remember the numbers, but are you really going to go through and sand 1,000 of these? Probably
Right.
not. So it's like,
Can't you throw them in a tumbler and it works automatically? I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Oh
no.
dear, no. So I don't know. I found a disconnect, I think, between the board. It went into the process and what it's going to look like. It looks like it's going to be a really nice board, but I felt like there was kind of a disconnect between that and then 3D printed pieces. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
agree,
I don't
yeah.
know.
It's such an elegant looking piece. It
Yeah.
looks like it should be carved from stone out the side of a mountain somewhere. But it's 3D printed. This is too elegant, and the board is lovely.
Again, yeah.
For the 3D printed pieces.
Yeah.
You know what? I think my only issue with this would be because I like the idea that the samurai theme is cool, right? I haven't seen a lot of samurai chess board sets. I think that's cool. I think my biggest issue might be, and this is conjecture, will the pieces feel too light and
So
slight
light.
in my hand? I kind of want heft with a chess piece
Yeah.
for one reason or
Well,
another.
they're FPL printed.
Sure. I don't know what that means.
DMX. They're DMX
Okay.
printing.
You're
So
Such a
I
disappointment.
will say this about the pieces, since we're getting way too in the weeds here.
Uh-huh.
Normally I don't like custom chess sets because I don't know who's Homer Simpson, you know.
Right.
Homer Simpson is the queen.
Right, so that's
No,
confusing.
king. The king.
The king, yeah.
In this case, I can tell mostly what the pieces are very easily, but yet it still has a distinct style to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a purist when it comes to chess sets.
You want it to be the standard kind of...
I do, yeah. It's
don't
like,
care that
again, it's
much.
kind of like a deck of cards where the pips get too weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can no longer tell if that's the spades or the clubs.
But I'm saying you
That's what
can
he's
tell
saying.
with this one here.
You feel like you can?
Yeah.
I feel like I would. Well, there's a horsey
There's
I
and
think-
a tower.
I think
That's what I'm saying.
What about the bishop? I'm worried about that one.
He's not the other ones.
That's kind of true, right?
I think from afar, I can't tell it's samurai. Like looking at that, the one in the back, the second from the right, admittedly, I despise chess and I don't know very much about it. But the second from the right, it looks like an alien. Like, is that a slug?
Are you talking a cross?
The very back row,
Yeah.
second in.
That's a horsey with a
I would
helmet.
argue it's a slug.
That's no, it's a horsey. Look at it.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Looking.
Here we
Oh,
go.
boy. No,
Here we
yeah,
go.
I like
Yes,
it.
yes.
That's a horsey.
Look at it. See,
Right,
it's
but again,
a horsey.
those are. I don't like that print. Anyway, but yeah, I think from afar, you can't tell. It doesn't scream samurai.
You know what?
What?
The bishop looks exactly like the pawn, Tom, but bigger.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
right.
I don't like that.
All
It's like
right.
the same helmet, same. It might even be the exact same
Could be the
model,
same printers.
printed larger.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Z, you're
Pass.
having a hissy fit.
That's
Yes.
correct. Ah,
Calm down.
what do we got going on here? There we
Calm
go.
down.
Yeah. Whoo,
All right.
whoo.
Had to get back to normal size there. All right. A cooperative card game of coordinated cat coaxing. Say that 5 times fast.
Right.
All right, Mike.
Alliteration.
Oh, man. I accidentally wrote the wrong time.
You did. There you go. You got your hissy fit
Spoilers.
time.
This is your pick of the week.
So here's a game where, believe it or not, I think the theme is working against it a little bit.
What?
In the sense that now I will say there are some neat, as a cat owner, there are some neat things on the cards where it's like, oh, there's a card called the Zoomies, and our cats definitely get the Zoomies, where they go literally launching off the couch. But this is, I don't know, I feel like this is just a little bit cloying to the cat people. Mechanically, it looks like a pretty decent entry-level cooperative game where you're trying to get, the cat into the cat carrier. That's cute enough, and you're going to have certain things that trigger every round, and you have to kind of deal with those things. And I don't know. I don't love the look of it.
What about the theme is working against it?
Because I feel like it's a little bit too. I don't know. How can I put it? How can I put this?
There's cats in it. You shouldn't buy it. Buy dog games.
No.
I thought that you would be all over this, Mike. It looks like not a dumb game, which is nice.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing.
And then I really like that it's not just like, cats, people, just shut up and back it because it's cats.
Okay.
They have a theme. The
maybe,
theme is
maybe I'm
get
off.
the cat in the cat carrier while it claws you.
All right,
Right.
Maybe clawing you up, and you're like, okay, getting closer, getting in there.
Yeah. No, it does look like a decent game. That's the thing about it. So I'm just like, okay, did they try to just push a cat theme onto a game they already had, or is
I feel that way about every cat game.
I don't feel that way, but I don't know. Anyway,
Cats
it
should
does
be
look like it's a
illegal.
decent game. I don't love the look of it. Maybe I don't know. I'm conflicted.
No.
It's really
loving
funny.
it.
I feel
I'm
like
not
everything you said, I'm opposite of.
Okay.
I was like,
good.
Mechanically, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine, it's solid, but the theme seemed really strong. It seemed like it's someone's therapy session of trying to put their cat in.
And that is a challenging thing, let me tell you.
Carriers,
Yeah.
So I just couldn't care less about the theme.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the 2 Dice Tower kitties that we have right now, that was a very coordinated effort getting those feral cats into a cat carrier to get them home. That was, oh my gosh, that was so stressful.
I was not stressed at all about the whole situation.
Yeah, because you basically said, see ya! Oh, what do we got going on
I'm
here?
actually a little sad.
There we go.
Okay, so here's the thing. He has this, get your cat in a carrier for $100. You get a sticker. 20 backers at that. Get your cat in a promo pack. 4 backers. They're all sold out. I honestly think you should have charged $500 for each of those.
Yeah.
And I think people would have bought them.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
your
right.
cat in the game,
Doesn't
basically.
that tempt you a little to get your cat in a game?
Gosh, if I can
For $100?
If I can get Pip and Raven in there, that would be pretty cool, yeah.
But I think
Pip and
$100,
Raven.
you would hesitate a whole lot less. That's not
You're
that
right.
much
That's
money.
not that much. That's not
I was
that much.
impressed with that
Right.
low price there.
Well, especially
That's
with
true.
the price of games right now, that's, any other of your pledges is $100. This one is going to have a custom one for you.
Yeah.
I'd pay that for Trogdor.
I will
in
say
a cat game.
they did do a great job of describing kind of how the game plays, right? Like I felt like, oh yeah, I get it, I understand. And again, it looks like a mechanically sound game. So I would play it for just some reason. Something I don't know what it was. It just I was like, it felt a little too cloying or on the nose,
On the
or
nose,
I don't
maybe.
know exactly what it was, but I'd be interested in playing
Again, it's
the
your
game.
PTSD from before of playing
Maybe
the
it
cats in a
is.
character.
Maybe it's
That's
just
what
too
it is.
soon.
It's too much.
Too soon.
Mage Noir, now it begins.
I was not conflicted on this one.
Well, a lot of people else
making
are not
bank, though.
conflicted, though. They're doing quite well. That's a nice box, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's a cool box. I do like the whole dark magic thing. I like the cover and I like a little bit of it, and then immediately it very quickly veers into, oh boy, I've seen this before. This is Magic the Gathering-esque. Lots of you are mages, slinging spells, earth, electricity, vaguely explosive cloud of gas that we're gonna, storming something. I'm not feeling this at all. I'm not digging this. Look at those walls of text.
Look at the
too.
text on those cards.
And this is their third one, right? And this is still just another base game, not expansions to it? Right? Isn't
I didn't
this
even check
company's
into
the
that, to be
third?
honest
Okay.
with you, yeah.
You gave up well before that, huh?
I did, honestly. I
They
have
have
to
new
admit.
keywords, slowcast.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
third. It got
Yeah.
canceled the first
Canceled.
time. Then it was an expandable card game. So
But now it begins.
Now.
Now.
that is a little
so
weird,
they went
right?
with trading
Yeah.
card game, didn't do it. So then they went expandable, which is a nicer, buzzword, because
Well,
that
that's when
means
that 2,600 backers.
yeah,
man.
it's not random, at that point what you're getting. And this is another one. Sure,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
I mean, someone's playing it, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like that Brambles picture.
My concern with this is I think it's probably a fine game. I don't want to, obviously people liked it the first time.
Sure.
The art's fine, but it just sounds like magic. They have things called permanence, and it's talking about damage, and it looks a little bit like Mage Wars in many ways too.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit to me like the one from Plaid Hat. The
Ashes?
The Ashes?
Yeah, Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix Born. It looks a little bit like that to me.
I'd play this once. I wouldn't buy it though. I would need to know how it played before I bought it.
Gosh, I hate that font. Those cards.
They look really hard to read.
They
for
really
sure.
do.
With the watermark and the font together, I cannot read that.
All right. Roll for Great Old Ones, a roll and write game.
Did that come through here? I've seen this before.
No,
Oh,
it did
really?
not. I
No,
would definitely
I don't-
remember that cover.
Where did I see this? Maybe we did news about it or something? Because this looks so familiar to me. So
Really?
familiar.
By the way, I think that I find it weird that they put a roll and write game on here. I feel like a roll for Great Old Ones is enough information.
No.
No, I
You don't do that with other things. You don't say, Kalis, a worker placement game.
I suppose so. I suppose
You're
so.
right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't put that together.
Roll for is in the title.
Roll for
It shows
Great Old
dice on
It
the
could
cover.
just be a
I would
dice
just
game, though.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know.
You're right
This-
that it is.
It is odd year, though, yeah.
They do not normally tell you what kind of game it is in the title as a
Yeah.
subtitle. You're right.
It's a cooperative roll and write game, which is a little bit distinct. I
And
mean,
they're coming out of the gate saying it's also a
Complex.
complex one. Mm-hmm. You know, so they're putting some.
What do you
You
think
like
of
the
this
art?
look? What do you guys think? There we go.
it's an art style that I'm not particularly fond of. I don't like the people with the weird pasted on noses thing.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but it's slightly off-putting to me.
You're the guy who likes Imaginarium.
Right, but that's completely different. That's
real
like
body
actual,
parts.
almost photorealistic surrealism. This doesn't look surrealism. This is just a particular art style that doesn't speak to me. I don't think it's
I've
bad
seen
art.
this artist before. I feel
Yes,
like it.
yes.
I like how he draws Cthulhu, though.
Yeah, the Cthulhu is
It's
pretty
weird
good.
for sure, and I can definitely see it being off-putting. I don't love it, but I do like it.
Okay, yeah.
I find it kind of just strange enough that it works for this game.
I think
Okay.
so.
I don't think
I
I'd
that's
want
what
this
it is.
person doing artwork for,
Yeah.
say, like Wingspan. I don't want their
Right,
Wingspan
yes.
artwork. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think it works. This almost in the same way that this style kind of works for like Bloody Inn.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
it kind
It's got a
of
little
gives me
bit of
that same
Yes.
feeling.
I
Yes.
do wish, if it said the name of the artist, because I'm sure we've seen multiple games with this artist before. I mean,
Okay.
it looks so familiar to me.
This seems neat to me. I thought this was cool looking.
Yeah,
there was
no,
a
it looks
lot of
fine.
information there. It was not a slapped together page.
No.
And the game looks robust. Actually, it might be too much.
It's heavy, yeah.
I think I was disappointed. My only hesitation is the actual board, and I was disappointed. It looks like it's very small, lot happening. I do worry about being too much and too little of a space and too many combo-tastic things that the game itself gets lost, you know? And so
Sure.
I do have a little bit concerns with that, but I think that could be said for any of these complex roll and writes that are coming out that you just don't know until you try it. But I think, again, them being very upfront with this is going to be a complex one, hopefully knowing that they're not trying to beef it up. They're actually going in knowing that and hopefully going
It's
to have
doing
a
really
smooth-
well.
Yeah, it is.
It's also 60 to 90 minutes. I mean, and they
Right.
said there's like scenarios in it. So it's also not even just the game you play
Yeah.
the same every time. You play one of various scenarios. There's a lot happening. This looks
Yeah.
cool. I would try this.
Yeah, who's the
Absolutely.
artist?
For sure.
Tom?
Yeah.
I don't know where to find
It's
the
right on the
Arizona-
box there, right?
To find the what?
Oh, Danielle?
Is it Williams?
I think it's
Because
Jamie
if so,
Williams.
then they're in the chat. Hi, Daniel. Love it.
Daniel Jamie Williams. Yes. Thanks for covering the game.
Sorry about the way
I
look.
draw noses.
And I need to be
love it.
clear about this. It's not just because the artist
This
is
is
in the
possibly
chat.
my favorite artwork of any
No,
game.
no, but that's what I'm saying. And I said it a moment ago before I knew the artist was in the chat. And I mean,
Hunting me, hunting you. Yes, 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 yes.
Right, it looks very familiar. And again, it's not. I'm not saying it's bad art.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, I couldn't even draw a stick figure, but it's just it doesn't speak to me personally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think obviously for many people,
I think it
it's
fits
doing
the
it's
theme.
doing
I
quite
think
well.
it fits
Yeah.
this game super well.
I'd also like to walk back my comments.
I'm not walking
I
it back.
say what
I'm just
I-
saying.
I'm saying the same thing I said before. Sorry, Daniel. I don't want to see your Wingspan artwork.
No, of
Also,
course.
I
I
of
think it
course.
fits really well for this.
Right,
Yeah.
I think it's a really good idea because we have so many Cthulhu Mythos games,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's a
It does help
different
it
take
stand
on
out.
it, and it makes a roll and write of
Yes.
that theme feel different. And
Kind of like that upcoming Marvel game that has that watercolor
Yeah,
look.
the Age of Heroes game.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm
I like that.
Ooh, I haven't
this
seen
is
that.
a weird look. It's
Yeah.
not what we're used to. I dig it.
Yeah.
This is putting me in that weird, like, oh, things are
Yeah.
strange.
Yep.
I would play the game right now, first of all. I mean, I think it looks
This looks
interesting, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
C.A.R.D.S. Cards, an
This is
interactive
all
playing cards and
about
companion book.
Z.
What does C.A.R.D.S. stand for?
It does say on the
It
cover
does,
of the
yeah,
box.
I missed that.
Right there. It says
Compliance, aptitude, and restricted data survey.
It's supposed to be like a whole government program in
Yeah.
the 60s kind of vibe that they're going for. So this is a deck of cards, or 2 decks of cards.
Sure.
It's also a puzzle, I guess. You play a game with these cards that is not just a card game, but it's actually a puzzle. And I was really super into it all the way up to there.
That's what I figured, yeah.
I love the backs. I love the faces. I love the weird, like, the government is controlling you. I love all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the court cards, and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, the court cards.
I
were
hated
rough.
the court cards.
Yeah,
these, you mean?
those, yeah.
Yes.
You know
You
what?
didn't mind these?
No, I don't mind those. Those are busy, and they're weird, but they're...
It's a puzzle, that's why.
It is a puzzle, but I almost
Right.
like that. I also like just the fact that you can look at it and go, there's information here that I'm not meant to know. It just seems,
Yeah.
again,
Why do you not like
government
these?
It's almost like tarot cards.
Because the drawings are terrible. I don't like the style. It fits none of the other graphic design. It's like lizard people in the shadows,
cool.
like, shadow government is what this is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I hate the art style. It's clearly hand-drawn, doesn't fit any of this other art style. I'd rather it have been like, I would have loved, actually, maybe would have worked better, like a Bigfoot-type photograph. With, like, someone in the background.
Right.
Kind of blurry.
Yeah.
Shady organization photos, like they do in movies, spy movies.
I know what
that
you
might
mean.
have been better than just,
Right.
like,
Yeah, I
evil,
gotcha.
like, guy, pencil drawn on there. Not loving it.
Careful, artist may be in the chat.
I don't care. All right? It's not Daniel, is it?
These are great. I like these aces a lot.
Aces are
Those
great.
are good.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw this, I immediately thought of Pandemic Season 0. I was like, these cards look like they're straight out of Pandemic Season 0, and I was all for it up until the face
Yeah.
cards. Like it was to me, it was the lizard people. I was just like,
Yeah.
what?
It looks like he drew the guy and
What?
then gave it to someone else and said, now you turn him
put
into a
some, put some
lizard.
Yeah.
tentacles on there.
Yeah. Actually, I would have been okay also if you go back down with that image you showed.
With the one, the
Oh,
retro
that's
look.
cool.
Yeah,
Like, if it
that's
was
cool.
that
That
kind,
would have been
that
great.
kind of
Yeah.
imagery.
Yeah.
Like the weird, the government is watching you while you're doing your work at
Yeah.
work
I
kind
know,
of
any of
look, or
those.
like mind control, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff would have been better. Stick with photography then.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
all looks very cool, right? That
Yeah,
kind
I
of
love the-
50s.
Yeah, the design is great.
Right.
Those chord cards, man, they lost me. And I was super into these. I was
Yeah.
considering backing these halfway down.
Right.
I'm like, oh, these are great. I'm loving this. But that
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
was it.
Okay.
Survive the Titanic, the card game. Now, guys, spoilers, Titanic sunk.
It's been a while.
I think this is they know what they're going for. They're wanting to honor the people from the Titanic. They built a game around it, and this is a really cool thing that you would pick up at the end of your Titanic museum tour. I think that's
Oh,
what they were
yeah.
going for.
Yeah.
They nailed it. From a gamer's perspective, I have some significant issues. A lot of it has to do with the graphic design, the actual
Yeah.
look of it, that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily mechanically understand the game, and it's just I think it's kind of a sloppy game, But I think again they know what they're going for, honoring the survivor, people of Titanic. If I just went to a museum and had all these cool facts about it, maybe I'd pick it up. And then it's like, hey, playing with somebody, and it's kind of the hey, did you know? Fun fact, kind of experience. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I echo almost everything you say. It looks like you get a random lifeboat card, and then you have to fulfill the requirements of that lifeboat card. But it does, to me, look like a game that is being designed by people that don't play a lot of modern
Right.
games.
Sure.
And so I do have concerns about that, but I think that you're right. I think this is something, and I think they actually have some type of a partnership with the Titanic Museum in Tennessee, I think even. This
I don't
might be
know.
a Tennessee-based
There's a Titanic
project.
I think it was
Museum.
Kentucky.
Or Kentucky, you're right.
There's a
Don't
Titanic
confuse them,
museum in
they're very
Orlando.
different.
Yeah. There's Titanic museums in multiple places, I think. But
It's the actual.
isn't it
it's sunk
Tennessee
Orlando.
in Pigeon Forge? Don't they have like a?
In Pigeon Forge,
Or maybe
I don't know
maybe
about.
I'm wrong. I could be getting confused.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
I feel like
did-
Pigeon Forge has everything, so
That's
probably
true.
yeah, sure,
Like-
why not?
right.
I did like all the like they seemed like they did a lot of their work, their research. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like I really liked
Absolutely.
the picture near the top of the Titanic in dry dock in Ireland or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like such a cool image. I'd never seen it, so it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen that picture
That's really
myself.
cool.
That is cool.
That is
Very cool.
insane. Those
Yeah.
propellers. And then there's one which actually ended up looking up the person after I saw this. Which she was on the Titanic. Keep going. That one. What's her name?
Violet Jessup.
Violet Jessup. So she was on the Titanic. That sank and she survived it. Britannic sank and she survived it. And there was another ship in that line
Olympic.
that crashed into like a warship.
Right.
And she survived that.
I don't think this is fair that Molly Brown gets all the love.
Right.
Where's the unsinkable Violet Jessup?
No kidding.
Yeah, and they call like there was on Wikipedia, which is a very reputable source, by the way.
Yes.
They called her Queen of the Sunken Ships or Queen of the something.
Like
or,
if she's walking your ship, you're like, no,
no,
get
jump
off.
off, jump off.
But I mean, I think that right there just makes the point, because I looked up somebody as well after watching the video. I was like, well, that's really interesting, kind of deep dove into a story. So I think that's what they're going for, and
people
it
say we
shows
don't do
that they
research.
know what they were
Right.
going for and they nailed it.
Right.
Unfortunately, from a gamer's point of view, but they knew what they wanted us to
Yeah.
do. We both fell for it.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a theme that has been tackled a little bit, not a whole lot, but there's a solo riff on Solitaire, the Katala, and the SOS Titanic, and there was another collapsible D game that was based on the Titanic, but there's not a lot. There's not a lot because it's an actual tragedy. But again, like you said, I think they're being very respectful of the topic.
All right, my turn to talk here.
All
Marvel
right,
United
here we go.
Multiverse.
All right.
Okay,
Now
go ahead.
we did the playthrough of this.
Yes.
We did. I played the new solo version, which we have kind of in the studio was kind of mixed feelings. I liked it a lot, but guys were saying you probably just played with 3.
I haven't played it.
The
to be
fact that
fair.
it plays so well just out of the box with playing multiple characters means I'm likely to do that, but I do appreciate that they actually kind of readdressed the what was it called, the shield mode, the original solo variant. It wasn't very good. This seems to be a much better kind of built from the ground up version. So I would certainly try the new solo mode.
And we did play against Galactus, who wiped his heel of his boot on the floor
We
with that.
did pretty good. We did all right.
Okay.
I did like I really did like that mode. I liked the locations being
Yes.
continents. I think helped the
I agree.
scale in that one. And it worked out well. It was a smooth system. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
That one worked out really well. In fact, I thought that was cleaner than a lot of the other modes or whatever. You know.
So this is the third, and I'm assuming the final Marvel.
I'm
Unlimited.
I am not assuming that.
I'm not as well. I'm just saying they're definitely put a lot of C-listers in there. So they started off
That is hard.
by, hey, multiverse. We have Captain Carter and stuff. But then when they started adding stuff, there was actually a ton of people from the current
Yeah, there's
Marvel
not really a lot of
616.
Right.
multiverse stuff.
Well,
It's
they
really
get
just
into
kind
that.
of the way in.
in a bit. So there's the regular box, which comes with the Wrecking Crew, which is, I'm always amused by the Wrecking Crew because they're like villains from the 60s that somehow are still around today. Like a guy shows up with a crowbar and a ball and chain, you're like, oh no! These guys always get their butts kicked by everybody.
Right.
But it is a multiple villain group, which I always tend to like
Do
those.
like that. Yeah.
So then, of course, there's the mini Galactus, which is pretty cool, and you
Yeah.
saw that in our thing. So, and then Iron Lad, which will go for a very high price on eBay.
Sure. And then all the stretch goals. So the $65 pledge, I think, gets you all the stretch goals.
Yes.
The $100 pledge gets you all the stretch goals, the base box, and the Galactus.
Well, the 65 gets you the base box stretch goals.
Right.
And then 100
Gets
for
you the Galactus
35
thing, too.
more.
Right.
You get Galactus and that
And
box,
that box, yeah.
with the people. Yeah.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. It's these optional buys that get me on board. So first of all, Civil War, which is my favorite of all the storylines in Marvel.
Is this pretty
Straight
close
up.
to the story? I don't know. Like the characters, at least?
Yes. Well, I mean, a lot of the characters already exist, right? But This has that giant Goliath, which is pretty cool.
Goliath,
that
yeah,
was,
big old
was
giant.
what happened to him was a major part of the Civil War story, if you remember, which you probably don't.
I don't.
But the Civil War also adds a way now to play straight up against someone else. Now, I have no idea how that plays.
Right.
This is one I'm really curious about. Like, if I could make a group of heroes and fight against Mike's group of heroes, I don't know. If that works, that'd be amazing.
It's a really different game at that
Gosh,
point.
but do
is.
we need that? I mean, again,
We
part
need
of this
that.
game is just the simplicity of
We
it.
need it,
Like,
okay?
good heavens, why do we have to keep going more and more and more? Like, just let
not
the good game be a
Harsh
good
on my
game.
jam here. This
I
is a
don't
Civil
understand.
War.
Oh,
I was saying in the
No,
top
let a good
100.
game be a good game? No.
I was saying in the top 100 recently when it was on my list that it's a very versatile framework, and this is going to put that to the test. you
It
know?
might not work, but even if it doesn't work, I still like all the different characters.
Sure,
They got the Hawkeye's daughter in there. That's cool.
Kate Bishop, yeah.
Kate Bishop. So that's a neat person to add in there.
Okay.
And then Secret Invasion. This one I think is fun. You get to fight against the Skrulls, and I enjoy that the hero in this one is called Nick Fury Sr. because they didn't want to say White Nick Fury
Okay.
because Nick Fury in the Marvel Universe, they made Nick Fury, and then in the MCU, Samuel L. Jackson played Nick Fury, which was great. And then in the comic universe, somehow he just turned into that somehow.
Okay.
But then they had a big storyline and explained why this guy disappeared, which was a cool storyline.
Okay.
I just think it's funny that they brought him in. So this one's cool. This is my third favorite of the optional buys.
Okay.
Nick Fury, though, in the comics is a little bit more of a hands-on guy, too, right?
No kidding. Especially this
yeah,
guy.
because in the movies, he really he doesn't get down and dirty in the movies, you know. But this
Right.
guy was. I remember some of the comics. He's busting out guns like he's
Yeah.
Yep.
Punisher.
Okay.
Then the War of Kings. This one's the one I'm least interested in.
But the dog, though.
I read War of the Rings and I was really excited for what I was like, oh, I take that. Never mind. My
So
statement
this
stands.
is just an excuse. The War of Kings is a comic story which I thought was okay, but they just wanted to bring the Inhumans in. So they
Okay.
got Black Bolt and Medusa, and of course Lockjaw, the teleporting dog.
All right.
I gotta tell you,
want
man,
Lockjaw.
Big old puppy dog.
that dog, I want to play with that dog. It looks fun. It looks
He
fun.
slobbers all over you, then he'll transport you. But Age of Apocalypse. This one I'm really
we
excited
already
about.
have an Apocalypse box. I'm confused by this one.
Yes, but so in
It
Age of
wasn't the
Apocalypse, it's
Age.
an alternate storyline in Marvel Universe where Legion, Professor X's very powerful son,
Yes. correct.
was blamed Magneto for everything. So he went back in time and shot a bolt to kill Magneto, but Professor X jumped in the way and died instead,
Okay.
which then made Legion not exist. However, it started the Age of Apocalypse, where Magneto took all the mutants and went and fought against Apocalypse. Since Professor X wasn't around to stop Apocalypse, he takes over the whole Earth. Beast turns evil, so there's a dark beast here. And then this piece, which they're calling Nemesis, they used to be called Holocaust, but for whatever reasons,
Sure.
they changed his name to Nemesis. And then they brought in several characters here. We have X-Man, who's an uber powerful person they brought to go up against Apocalypse. Sabretooth and Wildchild fight together as a team, which was fun. Morph, he's my favorite character in Marvel, period.
And has Morph been in this game yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But a lot of other characters have been, so like if you want to play with Blink or Rogue, they already exist in the game. But I'm just pumped about this.
Okay.
I don't care about the Apocalypse. I don't need a second villain of Apocalypse, but I mean, we do have 3 Wolverines, so...
That dude with the helmet looks amazing.
It does look very cool.
He's a really cool character. He's really
It just
powerful.
looks amazing. It's like a dome.
Right.
And it actually is like his model is under this dome. It's really cool. It's like one of the coolest looking models. I've
That is
seen.
not a spoiler for Age of Apocalypse. I'm telling you how it started. Also, that series came out 30 years ago. Okay? Spoiler. Anyhow.
I do like the mixed media on the minis here. I
Yeah,
agree.
they've
That
done-
is
they've done more and
really
more of
cool,
that,
really
yeah.
good. Does this hit your table? And I'm truly asking, not being me, I guess, but does this hit your table enough to warrant this much more content? I mean, you're already looking at like 3-4 calyxes if you have everything. Now I know
No,
because
you shut up.
I have played
I
this
mean, I
game
have.
over 100 times,
Okay, all right, so that answers the question. Yeah.
but I did it because there's that much stuff. So it's
Yeah,
kind of a
that's
cyclical.
true, yeah.
It's a catch-22
But
a
no,
little
but if that
bit.
stuff does help it hit your table more, then yes. So no, that does answer
the
the question.
game is very plug and play. So I can just be like, I'll play these heroes against this villain. Now I'll play these heroes. So I like that a lot.
Okay.
I don't care about the new mat
Okay.
because we already have a mat.
Sure.
2, actually,
Plastic
right?
tokens we got to get. This is really interesting, the
This
team
is very
decks.
interesting, yes.
So the team decks, now, the way they do these, and I need to figure out exactly, so it shows 4 heroes on each one.
Yes.
As far as I can tell from reading up on this, those are the 4 heroes that if you bought base boxes and or you can buy these heroes. But
These
there's
are all
also
available.
another list of heroes that can be on these teams that are part of the stretch goals and other things.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a
interesting.
whole
Okay, that's nice.
there's a whole document of them. Some are small, like the Fantastic Four. There's not that many, but like some of these other ones is like a list of 22 people, and you're like, oh, okay.
So
So you
then
could
these are
supplement if you
extra
have.
cards that you can play. You're supposed to play it on hard level, which I will do for sure. And then they're just extra cards as you put them together as a team. This has been done in other Marvel games. Overpower did it back when it was cool. You know, but I like the whole idea if you're playing
When was
with a team.
Overpower cool?
Never. But I like these. This team deck thing is fire. I definitely want that.
I agree. That one was the one thing they announced. No. That's the second most exciting thing to me about all of this.
Okay.
I'll talk about what my number one is in a moment.
Is that team deck, is that team base, so it's 2-on-2? Is that what it's bringing as well, or what is a team
No,
deck?
it's just that if you use, so in the game you can play Fantastic Four, but I could also
Yeah.
say Professor X and Spider-Man are on the
Right.
same team. Here they're saying if you use the people who are actually on the real team, they have teamwork cards that you'll be able to add in, and it makes them even more powerful.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So the way it
that's
works
kinda cool.
is
Yeah.
you could be like Avengers is one of them.
Yeah.
So like Iron Man, Thor, somebody,
Black Widow,
and then you
Spider-Man.
take that little deck and you shuffle it, and then you reveal 2 of those cards, I think it is. And on your turn, instead of drawing a card and playing one to the line, you can instead not draw and play one of those 2 to the line, and it
Oh,
does
interesting.
something.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then you
okay.
reveal a new one there.
Yeah.
Gives you
So
more options, yeah.
I
That
just
is
like that it.
interesting.
Again, hopefully it ties the theme up a little bit more. And to be fair, you can. I don't think they name characters on these cards, so you can say, you know, Iron Man was part of the X-Men.
Sure,
And
I
do
think-
whatever you want. I
I
don't
think
think
that's
it
a legit
matters.
thing.
I don't think
Okay.
it
But it
matters.
also kind of gives those synergies. It plays on the synergies of the characters and
Yes.
stuff, which is interesting. Okay, I like that.
Also, you can go back and buy all the old stuff for about double or
Yep,
more
yep.
of what it cost earlier, but hey,
You
At
gotta
least you can get it
You
again.
can get it.
the Fantastic Four set, I think for $45, that's one of my favorite. That might be my favorite of all the box sets. Well, that's not Sentinels. And it tells you how to play the game here, and it shows the heroes in the main box, which are cool.
Yep.
And you've seen a lot of that stuff if you watch our playthrough of it. We showed off most of those heroes. We showed off Galactus, and here's all his little people with him.
Yep.
And then there's our videos. Click them and watch them. Articles, painted galleries, which are always cool. Okay, let's go through stretch goals. Corsair, yay! That's Cyclops' father, spoiler. The equipment, I like the equipment a lot.
equipment- That's a
That's
great
the one
idea.
thing that I'm most excited about. That's my one, even if I was interested in none of these characters that are new, I'm backing it because characters get equipment now.
Yeah.
Now you have a card that sits alongside your normal deck that is Captain America's shield, so-and-so's helmet, so-and-so's power, whatever.
Mjolnir or
And
whatever.
you can use it, flip it face down, and it might have an ability you do to flip it back up.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
That elevates the game thematically. Again, I love that thematically they're adding some things here that just give me more flavor. You know, I really like that.
Yeah. I
Also,
agree.
this kind of brings them up a little bit since the X-Men had 4 special cards.
Yes.
Now you got 3 special cards for the old guys, but they also have equipment. I think there is going to be some equipment for some of the X-Men people, I think.
Probably.
But this is for there's Gambit's cards.
Right.
So, all right, Black Knight, cool, but he'll be cool when his movie comes out. Claw shoots sound. That guy is on the Starjammers. Chameleon, Spider-Man's villain. He can pretend to be someone else. Songbird, no one cares.
She's got a great mini though.
Yeah.
That is a really cool
That
mini.
purple,
cool
they haven't
mini.
used that
Nice.
purple
No, I
before.
don't think so. Yeah, it's very cool.
There's one later on that combines different
Titania,
colors.
Hepzibah. Absorbing Man, I'm excited about.
Surprised he wasn't in it already.
Yeah, I'm curious if his cards will have do something with your cards.
Yeah, right. He absorbs the powers.
Finally, they go into the multiverse.
Yeah.
Cyber.
There we go.
This one I'm excited about. I didn't realize Abomination wasn't in the game.
Right, another one that I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, Absorbing Man and Abomination are like in everything, Marvel, but
Here's Young Cap America Patriot, Crimson Dynamo, Raza M.
Who's them?
M is one of the. She's like when they started the Young Avengers, the Generation X. She was one of the characters of that
Okay.
one. I cannot explain her backstory. It is so long and convoluted. But she's essentially 3 siblings as one. Don't worry about it. Crossbones. Don't fight him in an elevator. Cypher. He's cool. This is Wolverine's son, if you're wondering. That's it. They can still manage to get another Wolverine in the set.
Wow.
Chamber was one I thought would be in the last set. He's another one of that Generation X, the young X-Men.
He's got a cool looking mini there.
Mm-hmm.
Maximus, he's just a bad guy who they fight. Here's another multiverse person, Captain Britain. This is cool, generic equipment. Now anybody can have equipment.
Well, there we go. Now we're back.
I think we might have a...
it might be a little loose
I think
on the...
this connection's bad. We'll work on it later.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't have equipment, you can give them equipment now, right? And so it'll be a little bit more generic, like a armored, suit or whatever, a weapon. So it doesn't tie to them. It's not the named thing, Mjolnir or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's great that you can now give anybody equipment.
Right.
Yep. Iron Patriot, great bad guy. This is Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. Somehow was Iron Man for a while.
Oh, interesting.
What?
I will say, this is not just blowing smoke. Like, I have none of this background, so it is kind of cool to be like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Cool.
I know none of this
Thank
stuff.
you. Yeah, no,
I don't think I've known
It is
any of them.
cool.
Aurora, hey, here's one of
I've known a couple of them
the
from Marvel
Canadian
Champions.
team name is.
Okay.
Hush, she can rip her skin off. Isn't that cool?
Sure, why not?
No, there's more than that. She can. U.S. Agent, I'm really glad this one. He's purple also, so good guy or bad
Anti-hero,
guy.
yeah.
That's good.
I like the anti-hero thing.
I also noticed they made
really
him
do.
look very specifically like the guy from the TV
From the TV show, they did. They really did.
Because he does not look like that in the comics.
Okay.
I was amused by that. There's the Gen X I was just telling you, the
Team deck, yeah.
There's Professor X's Star Lover.
Okay.
Havoc. I think Havoc's already in the game, isn't
Yeah,
he?
but this
I
is
think
X
so,
Factor.
yeah.
Right. Dark Star, that's a Bloodstone, fights vampires. Kid Loki, we're still waiting for Loki.
Yeah, yeah.
That's coming, I bet you.
Wicked, this one I'm pumped about. Red Hulk. I have always liked Red Hulk. Although, it's funny because in the comics, they're like, who is Red Hulk? When you look at his picture, you're like, it seems more obvious here.
No, I don't get it.
It's that old guy Ross,
The guy who tries to kill...
Black Widow, and he chases Black Widow. And
well, if you've ever
Black
seen any
Widow
of the
movie.
Hulk movies, the father of the girl that Hulk loves,
Got it. Yes. Oh, okay, I thought it was Hulk Hogan.
which is also another spoiler, don't care.
Hulk.
Siren, Banshee's daughter.
I'm a Hulk,
Ursa
brother.
Major?
This one I'm
in.
excited about.
I'm in.
Yeah.
A bear.
That and the dog. That's all I
The
need.
Also-
bear and the dog,
Yeah,
right.
I'm good.
Captain America Sam Wilson is cool.
Yes.
And now they're
What
up
was
to
that team?
Blast
Go
Star.
back up.
Sword Bears of Krakoa. This is a very, very new series that came out in the last few years where a bunch of people in Marvel Universe were given swords and forced to fight an island, which feels very video game-ish, and I think was.
Okay.
Krakoa is that island of theirs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And then this is
Blast Star. He's a Fantastic Four villain.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's where they are now. And there's still tons and tons. This is a very
Golly.
long page.
Do we think there's another big box
Yes.
in this? Okay.
think-
Because
One more, maybe,
they'll
yeah.
release, if they follow the pattern, and they will,
Yeah.
there might be even 2 more.
Wow.
There might be another one released in the next day or so.
Okay.
Then right before it ends, they'll release one final one, and then they'll be like, also,
Here's
here's the
everything
pledge amount
for
to get
300
everything.
bucks.
How
400
much? What's the next one, Tom? What's the next one going to be? The next pack.
Oh, of the different big stories that they haven't done yet?
Yes.
They haven't done the Multiverse Incursion line, where the different things come in. They also haven't done the Secret Wars 2 where God Emperor Dr. Doom, and they have that God Emperor Dr. Doom kind of guy in the base set.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
Is Kang in the base set?
Kang is in he's in the first series.
Oh, he was.
But then, yes, they might do something with him, too.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
there's going to, they would be so timely.
It would.
I assume one of the 2 upcoming ones is a
Could it be an
Kang.
Ant-Man?
I don't know if it's an Ant-Man, but
quantum
it's
one?
like
Yeah,
a
Quantum
Quantum
Alien
Mania,
set.
Ant-Man, mostly Kang traveling through time
Right,
stuff.
right.
All
That's
right,
kind of
Mindy
what I
says,
think.
I'm so lost. All right, Mindy, we'll move on. Here we
Yeah,
go.
That's a lot of stuff.
Fairy of Perfume. This looks interesting.
This does.
Yeah, my only, I'd be like 100% down on this. The only thing that is hesitation to me is that while they have a PDF of the English rules, they're saying basically, look, don't expect any of your player boards or anything to be translated.
Yeah.
And if you want to play with the B side of the player boards, which give you some kind of a special power, I didn't see anything in the rule book because I went through the rules. I didn't see anything in the rule book that explained in English those powers. I'm assuming they'll have them at some point, but I like the look of it. Look, I'm kind of a sucker for a lot of these games coming from Asia right now because I think they have just a slightly different take on mechanisms we're familiar with.
Right, and I love that idea. It's not quite push your luck. I don't know what it is, but you're trying to pour out the right ingredients, and so it's you don't want too much, you don't want too little, but you also want the right colors. So it's like kind of a push your luck element, maybe a little skill, dexterity. I don't know, but so I was really fascinated by the mechanisms of this game. But same thing, it's like from the page, even the translation of English was just a little rough, and it's like, all right, I can deal with that as long as the play is language independent, and I have concerns it might not be on the player board.
Yeah, at least not on the player boards. I think that they're saying straight out, look,
I think I'm not going to back it until I see that.
Yeah, the pour thing reminds me of that other game that if you're going to pour out a certain amount but not too much.
I'm trying to remember what that was.
I don't remember what it is
Well,
either.
are you talking about the old cooking game done by the guy who designed the Marker?
A la carte.
A la carte? Yeah,
That
has that
might
in
be
it.
it.
Yeah, you have the salt
You're
and
like,
pepper shakers.
trying to do like, you're trying to get the right amount in one fell swoop. You're only supposed to do it once.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it makes me think of that a little bit. I also feel like there's another dice rolling game that did that a little bit.
There was. I don't remember what it's called.
But
It's a cool idea.
I like the look of it a lot.
I like that one a lot.
All right, more STL files. We're putting these in because Camille can criticize them or
These
critique
look
them, I guess.
fantastic, and it might be because they all have fantastic paint jobs.
Yeah. Well, here's one without a paint job.
Right. I mean, and
It's a
even with that,
rendering,
there's a lot of detail to it. I am excited about it, and I really like this. I like this trend that we see here, getting a lot of STL files, going to Thingiverse. There are these free things, but I like this trend of people putting more effort into getting high detailed, different sculpts that are really going to fit your tabletop experience and charging for it. Like, I'm fine with that. They put all that time and energy into it, but you're going to get a file that works. Now, I say I don't know this one. I didn't see where you can get like a trial for free. I do like where they offer that. Hey, and here's something we designed just so you can make sure it's going to work with your printer and to see the quality. So I wish they had that, but I think that these look fantastic for terrain pieces, and I can think of a couple different games that they would work for. I love the sunken ship one, that one right there. I think it looks so cool. The two halves of it, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, wow, it's insane. And then painted. My goodness.
I would like a sunken ship bookshelf ender.
That's a neat idea.
Oh, you could do that.
Sunken ship?
Yeah. Like bookends.
Bookends,
Yeah.
But the
I never
sunken...
use a bookend because I always fill my shelf all the way.
Right. But that's interesting. Would it not? So not half the ship, like a normal righted ship. You mean like an actual sunken ship?
Yeah, like half on each side.
Well, like that right there. That's two different prints.
That's what made me think
Yeah,
of
but that won't hold
It's
up
not going to
books
really
because
hold
there's
up
no
books.
flat side.
Yeah, you'd have to do something.
I was going to say, you go in there and slice it off and actually put a rectangle or something to flatten one side and then use it. And then just add a little weight to it, drill a hole in the bottom, fill it with some sand or something like that to add some weight to it. You could do it very easily with that.
All right.
Yeah, just like that.
I don't know if you could. I'm sorry. Joey could do that really easily for you.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like one of those YouTube tutorial videos where it's like, so simple, and you're like, huh?
All right, The Starlings, a graphic novel escape room. It says the world's first graphic novel escape room. I don't know if
when
that's
they make
true.
bold statements like that. I love, unresearched, bold, just blanket statements like that. We're the world's first backpack something. It's like, you don't know that.
Yeah.
So it's mixing an escape room with a graphic novel.
Right. So in the story, when the characters get to a place where they need to solve something, that's when you break out the physical components and you're trying to kind of solve that.
I think that's cool.
I think it's very cool, and I'll tell you,
cool.
the page itself didn't give me a great impression. The video was a little bit better because it seems like these are people that have some background in doing these types of things, at least doing the graphic novel type stuff, and they've created media that is, they've had stuff on, the Conan show. So these are people that do have some type of a technical background. I don't know what their involvement in escape roomy type stuff is or not. I don't know how good the puzzles are. I don't tend to play these games. But I think the book itself is the most impressive looking part of it. When you see the graphic novel, I have no interest in this as a project because this is not my type of thing, but...
So my son really enjoyed the graphic novels, Van Ryder games, the graphic novel adventures. He really enjoyed that kids ones, the kids crew, Crusoe crew. Thank you. Yeah, well done. Crusoe crew. He really enjoyed that, but we did find it a little bit long.
Yeah.
And so I think something like this is perfect for that, where if you have that graphic novel that you're invested in, that you're getting into, but then you get to step away and do something with your hands.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to help with attention. I was fascinated by this and think it's fantastic. My biggest concern is with that box. That's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
This one graphic novel is going to unlock one side, and you need to do all 5 of them. The other 4 are not developed yet.
So they're
down, like, hey, we are going to do this, and it's like, but are you?
Nope.
So I do have a hard time jumping in on that point there of promises of the future, and there's not something you can pledge where it's like, hey, and I'll do a little bit more, and I get all the future ones coming. So it is only backing for this first graphic novel, which is 1/5 or 1/6 of the cube that you need. So that was my one hang-up, but as far as what they're doing...
That's going to stop me from backing it.
I didn't catch that. No, I didn't. I'm glad you said
I
that.
agree.
But I
It's not
think-
a cool... Yeah, it's not cool that you're selling me 1/5 of your product or 1/6 of your product. And then... Yeah, we'll send you the rest later on for sure. Don't worry, we got you.
Well, they're not even saying they are. No, that's going to be additional crowdfunding things, I assume. They're not even saying you can't even back them.
Yeah.
It's just saying, hey, we're going to do this in the future, and they don't tell you how they're going to do it. Is it going to be more money? Is it going to be? It's not a subscription you're getting. You're just getting the first graphic novel and maybe the activities, and possibly, if you want, the level with this cube. So I would be like, all right, just give me the first graphic novel, and I'll invest. If I like it, I'll invest in the cube and the whole system when it's all available.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Also, it's called Poopocalypse.
Their first
and they
game,
say, hey,
yeah.
we create crappy card games and immersive adventures. You should change that.
Yeah.
Because that...
Unless you're targeting 9-10-year-old boys, which
Well,
in my 9-10-year-old boy,
If you look at the
100
Poopocalypse game, that's what they were doing.
he
Yeah.
is 100% behind this.
Don't
So
name your company after your first game.
There's that too.
Exhibit number 72.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not as fired up as you guys are. I
I'm
don't
not
like the
fired
look
up
of
at all.
I don't like the look of the graphic novel.
Oh, okay.
I think that box looks like it's going to bring out Pinhead. I'm not interested.
All right.
This
What
game,
about this
though,
one?
Z,
Counter
you're
Warfare,
all
the surprisingly
over this.
strategic party royale.
Gosh, this looks bad. This
It's
looks
doing really well, though.
How much is it doing?
This looks like a game that's going to do
23,
very well.
Wow.
I'll say this looks like a game that's going to do well on Kickstarter, right? It has a very simple, clean graphic design that looks like every other game like this, right?
Disagree with that, but okay.
No, Z, how many card games have we seen that look exactly?
No, he's saying it looks like everything.
Right, that same
Yeah, no,
font,
no.
that same one simple picture in the middle.
I think the pictures in this are not. I get what you're saying.
To
I
me,
think
this
these
looks like
pictures
15
are
other card games that we've
These
looked at.
pictures are way worse than the usual card games we get that have like a single iconic image and then a
Yes.
bunch of text and that same font. These pictures are way worse. They look like clip art. They're horrid.
Maybe,
I
I don't
feel
know.
like there's no continuity between them.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a couple different styles.
Yeah, it's like
represented
whatever
in
we
there.
found,
you
Right.
know?
It looks like
I
a
can't
Google
look away.
image and pick one that kind of goes alike.
I need to stop.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
How do we get off this? Oh, I did it. Okay. Yeah. All right, moving on.
Thank you.
Arborea. Now, this one is from Alley Cat Games.
Yes.
They have a good track record. That is a busy but gorgeous looking board to me. I love the colors. You guys don't like colors.
It's a very, very, yes, they are leaning into kind of this very bright and vibrant thing. And this is part of, I guess, what they're kind of saying is our newer line, or one of their lines where it's like their heavy games, right? Where
Well, they just
what was
came out
it?
with that
Cat
Autobahn.
Advanced. Alley Cat
Autobahn,
Advanced,
yeah.
yeah.
Alley Cat Advanced. And for some reason this is, and maybe it's not on accident, this is giving me strong Batoku vibes.
Yes, that's one of those new themes we're going to see a lot more of, I think.
Yeah,
That was
this
one of those
forest
quotes,
creatures.
though. Batoku Killer was one of the
Oh, do they say
things
that on
one of
it?
the
Did they?
events we saw in this. Yeah.
They put that on their thing? Oh, I don't know if I'd have the gumption to say
That's
that on
pretty
my
bold.
game.
Somebody, they're
Somebody's
quoting
quote.
someone who
Oh,
said that.
a
I think it might have
content
been
creator.
Rado.
But yes, they're the
Okay.
ones
Yeah.
who chose to put that in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, right there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
there.
I don't know.
I guess I'm not the only one that thought it looked like
So
Batoku.
you're not the only one that made that
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think for me personally, I am very interested in this and kind of that holding on when you take your action selection. You hold later so that you get more stuff. But if you wait too long, you're going to miss out on stuff. So kind of the timing. I really like games that do that, where you have to strategically plan your timing.
Yeah.
But that tied with a shared resource, just thinking about it, I already start having anxiety. I'm like, but don't touch my stuff. I don't know.
It's
sharing
not
in games.
co-op though, right?
No, it's not. It's
No.
not co-op at all. But it's shared resource. So you might be building up to something, and if someone gets off before you, then you lose all the resources. I'm like, I don't know. So I'm very, very, very intrigued by this. I do like a lot of it.
Finished rulebook.
That's a big thing
Stretch
now,
goal.
Tom. That's a big thing now. People like their linen finish rules.
Wasn't it done by Stonemeyer by accident on the game, where he said,
was
"Let me
it?
finish everything," and then the rulebook was "Let me finish," and I was like, "Ha ha ha." Are people asking for Let me
I
finish
think,
rulebooks?
wasn't Wingspan the first of those?
It might have been. I don't
Yeah.
know.
have any
I don't know. I gotta admit, I like it.
Well, I
but-
think this looks amazing, and in
Yeah.
a non-Marvel week, this would be my pick of the week.
It looks very, very
Wow.
nice. It looks very nice. It looks heavy. You know, it looks like there's a lot going on.
So what you're saying is,
I think it's not any surprise to anyone.
Yeah, I
in
think
this
we know
week.
what's
I
up.
was
Like the
hoping
weekend,
for a
yeah.
surprise.
I do like that action right there, that side thing that you're doing. It reminded me of another game that we did with that with Vol Mountain King, maybe, where you're kind of building your own board. So you turn
Yes.
over your things, and then you're covering certain symbols in
Yep.
order to act. I really,
Yeah.
that part right there,
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah,
There's a
well,
lot going on in this game.
Yeah.
It looks
there
like.
is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I made fun of the picture of this game before, where everybody was running.
Yeah.
The front cover, I still don't like this front cover. It's wacky, but then again, maybe the game
I
is
disagree.
wacky.
I love it.
I don't
You like
mind
that
it at all.
cover?
I
think
do.
it looks like, yeah.
I love it. I love the color scheme. I love the wackiness. I love the playing the villains, and I think it, it has that crazed mania feel to it, and that's what this game is.
Who's the company
I really
doing
like
this?
the cover.
Night Games.
Night Games.
Here's my worry. I think Night Games is known for miniatures.
Yeah. Yep.
When
And
you're
you can
known
see
for
that.
miniatures, that's because you're not known necessarily for games. This might be good. I hope it's good.
I want it to be good.
Yeah, it would be
I'm
nice.
much more interested in these anti-superheroes or reverse games. The zombie marvels. I'm more interested in playing a zombie hero than a hero. Like, I think this is so much of me. I am really concerned. Where it kind of lost me is that there's not a lot about the gameplay, but the little bit I got is there's going to be some semi-co-op elements. Thematically, I think it works. You're the bad guys, and every now and then you team up to fight against Batman, but ultimately you want to be the ultimate villain. So I think it works here, but I do just wonder fun-wise if I'm going to enjoy that. So doesn't say a lot about gameplay, and one of the things it does talk about is the semi-co-op. I'm like, that's two issues potentially, but look, what I am 100% on board with this loud neon villain vibe of this game. Gosh, I was so excited looking at it, but there was just a couple. I just had to pump the brakes a couple different times.
That's always been one aspect of Batman, right? There's always been that one kind of, side of Batman that's been that kind of bright neon,
That's
Arkham,
true.
you know what I mean?
So good.
It looks really good, but I don't know about the game. Yeah, I want to try it for sure.
Right, me too.
I want to
And
play it. I want to see how it feels, how it runs. I do like this is something that's been done before in a Euro game, kind of. But Paulo Mori actually has a game in which you are the Batman villains trying to avoid Batman. And in this one, you're doing the same thing. If you get in this game, apparently, if you take too many actions that attract attention, Batman might show up.
Yep.
And at that point, you're in trouble.
Right.
I really like that idea.
All right, well, that's games. We'll be right back with some other stuff, but first, Mark.
Streed?
Folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and today we've got a bunch of games to look at, so let's get to it. And first up, we have Colbert. Now, this is an older game, but they did give it a new coat of paint. It's all the same basic rules that you knew before, but what I really like about this game is just the fact that you actually move down the elevator to pick up the ore and bring it to the top to fulfill contracts. They did a great job with the reskinning of this. It's definitely one to check out. And next up, we have Once Upon a Line. Now, this game is straight up a word game, but you're on an epic quest to find the right words. They do a good job making you feel like you're in this questing mode, but you have to unlock the clues and find the right words, scratching them off one at a time. So it's a really great tactile experience around this, and they're gonna have recharge packs if you wanna go back and experience it again. So if you like word games, this is definitely a unique take. Next up, we have Andromeda's Edge. You're literally on the edge of the Andromeda galaxy, creating different developments on planets, getting resources. You're also discovering modules that have been left over from a previous civilization. Some of these modules might even be damaged as you add them to your space station and try to gain even more resources and develop your different types of ships so you can go out and battle raiders and your fellow players, move up the different tracks to get all the different points. It is a points game after all, but the theme really shines through. And next up, we have the search for the lost species. Now, if you know Planet X, a lot of this game is going to be familiar to you. It is the logic puzzle deduction. You got to go through as a scientist to find the different animals, as well as the main one, the lost species, traveling around the island and so forth to gather information and figure things out. Now, this one also has villagers or towns you can go to and get villager cards that will help you through the course of the game, but they did a great job. I really enjoyed this version. I actually like it better than Planet X because you feel like you're a scientist on a mission. And next up, we have Four Corners. Now, this is a living puzzle basically, and there's two versions. There's a kaleidoscope and a space version. I had the space version, which I think I actually prefer, but it is a very much a puzzly game as you try to twist and turn your tiles to meet your objectives and manipulate the tiles out on the board. And you need to match either corners or the center to achieve those, and there's different types of patterns and things that you can create as you do so, but this is super family-friendly game. And lastly, we have Deep Shelf. Now, Deep Shelf is this huge, epic game as you explore the oceans as a corporation to develop and pull riches from the ocean floor. And the theme is that you're trying to get off the planet because it's about over. So there is this race to get minerals and get done and develop as much as you can and be the first one, the best one to develop those last resources that you can. Now, there's shallows and the depths you can go to, all kinds of new areas to explore, and there's even a sea creature you have to deal with. And so, for my pick of the week, now, I really enjoyed all of these games. This was a great way to kick off previews for the year, but one came down to the best play experience, and it has to be Andromeda's Edge. They did such a good job with this game. I can't wait to play again. I love the engine building. I love how you develop these different buildings on the planets. And I had the deluxe components, which just add that next level feel to the game for sure. But they did such an amazing job with how you tie your workers, your spaceships, into going out into the Andromeda's Edge and then pulling them back to your player board to do additional actions and generate resources with your space station by getting modules. Fantastic. Please check it out. All right, folks, if any of these games look like they might be of interest to you, please go check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
So you think that wasn't real?
Camilla just went, I think that's CGI.
Yeah, because you didn't leave any marks in the snow. Also,
Right.
there was no spaghetti for that.
All right. Remember to send me weird, interesting, funny projects at tom@dicetower.com. If you did send them to me sometimes, though, if you send them to me right before the show or a couple days before the show, they'll make it the following one.
Real quick, can one of these be our pick of the week?
Yes.
Asking for a friend. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Here's
boy.
the deal. This first one is here for one reason only. This is actually a D&D 5th. I don't care anything about this game at all. All I want to say here is think about your font when you make a name.
Uh-huh.
Because that T straight up looks like a C.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't catch
Got
that.
it. I did not
That's
see that
true.
either, but
But now you
okay.
cannot unsee it.
I can't unsee it.
I'm the leprechaun.
Okay.
You thought it was a pot of gold. It's a pot of something else.
Okay.
Okay. Anyhow, moving on.
Okay.
All right. The Revolve Chair, versatile beanbag for the modern home. I have made a vow that we're getting no more beanbags at the Vassal house because they eventually bust open.
They always bust
they?
open.
With the help of
flatten
the
out.
dog.
And the beads
Yeah,
never.
dogs don't help.
Yeah, the beads never hold up. They say they've got some space age.
I also
polymer
can no
bead.
longer.
I don't know.
I can no longer get up off of them.
I also foresee myself on this, putting it down and sitting, be like, that side I like? Nope. Standing back up. Again, is that the side I like? Nope. Try again. Is that... Nope, it was the first one. You know, like it's going to be
I
a
agree.
15-step process to get my side.
Also, from switching from one side to another looks
Wait, are
like
these
it
people
makes
just flipping it for no reason?
Yeah, it's like, what difference is it going to be? I mean, it's going to be a very marginal difference between that and the other modes,
I
right?
think like one side is wider, which is going to allow you to slouch. One is higher, giving you more support. The other is useless. I don't know.
I feel like you're going to have one side. You're going to get this thing, try all three sides, and go, yeah, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
A beanbag, and this is basically a beanbag. The point is, you can shift how you sit. You can slouch.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
sit, or whatever. It's not about adjusting the sides so much, you know?
Right,
Right
It's
there.
not really giving you the support you want from, like, a chair.
Right.
Also, straight up lie here.
Oh,
Ultimate
yeah.
Seat, they're like, this replaces a sofa chair?
No.
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 I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
No.
This also, if you look at the picture just above there, Tom, all of those people look like they're getting ready to fall off.
They do. They all look like they're ready
all
to slide
are
into
very,
the...
Yeah, they're very tense. Be like, hold the pose, you
They're all
know.
engaging the core.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not. Those are not
Oh,
napping poses.
it's an exercise machine.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
They're all
I'm-
about to.
Yeah, I'm not engaging
Yeah.
my core for anybody.
No.
All right.
I don't believe in it.
No, I'm against it. And frankly, I'm going to lay down.
Here you can get handmade marbles. This would have been a much better Kickstarter if we were still running shoots of marbles right now.
know,
right?
Yes, it will come back someday. I don't know when. I'm preempting all the
Right,
questions.
right. No, you're not, but yeah, you'll try. Yeah, marbles.
They look kind of
He
cool.
can blow
Yeah.
his
I
own
think these are
glass.
cool.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
why
they're really
not?
cool.
Why not?
But also, they're not exactly spherical.
No, they're
Like-
these are not.
Ooh, yeah.
These are not
What do
regulation.
you call this? I guess decorative. I guess.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're
Decorative
Yeah, yeah.
marbles, glass marbles.
decorative
They're
showpieces.
They're gorgeous. I like them. I like that the inner galaxy glow in the dark thing. But oh, that's kind of cool. Using
Yeah, the
them in
little
like
mushrooms are neat.
or even like using them in a fish tank. I didn't think about that. That might be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
I like the
Mess
actually like the
up-
mushrooms better than the
Mess up my
the marbles.
fish's sleeping cycles. Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
There you go. Enjoy it, Goldie.
I adore this.
Really?
So much.
There's no way I'm not getting the foxes for Tiffany.
Oh my gosh.
She will lose her mind.
Did you look at the old projects too? I want the second
did.
one. By the way, it's out of stock on their website, but yes, I have it bookmarked. I love this
Yeah,
so much.
the-
Wait, which
They're-
one do you like here? This
That
one?
one.
Look at that.
that one, the
no,
fox. Keep going.
The foxes,
Keep
not
going.
the cats, not the mice, the foxes.
That one.
Yeah, you went. They're right there. Go down. They're right there.
Okay.
They all look the same to me.
Those are foxes.
Those are
Tom.
foxes, and they're
The
adorable.
can see-
two-tone fox design is beautiful.
It is.
And the base, you can rotate
Yes.
them to make them go, and you can turn the ears because it's magnetic, and they can cover the little eyes. I love this project
And
so
they're
much.
also reasonably priced for what looks like a very nice custom woodwork.
Yes, you can get the hydrant.
You can get the hydrant, yes. But yeah, no, this
five.
reminded me. This is something
that.
Tiffany. I would like to get this for her
I-
as a nice little
I
gift.
love this like on a very good week, this would still be a contender for pick of the week. I love this project, and I love his last projects as well.
Yeah.
On the last one, he has like a dog. He has a penguin. Oh my gosh, the penguin is the one that I'm tempted by.
Oh, the wood's from Vietnam. Oh,
It is
Yeah,
adorable.
Vietnam has good wood.
And it's all, and like I said, it's all interchangeable. So you can turn
Right.
the tail up or down, or put the ears in or out, or I mean, it's magnetic toy.
It is
Pricing.
adorable.
Oh.
It's like 40 some bucks, I think, for the pair.
$40. All right.
That's pretty good.
For a wood, for a
you
wood.
kidding
When do we
Yeah.
get it?
But again,
April?
this is decorative, right? Is the idea?
Yes,
Yes,
of course. It's
yes.
just decorative, yeah.
Well,
It's
I
very
know-
pretty. I mean,
It
this is
really
going to look
is.
stunning on a shelf. On a
Yeah.
nice shelf, you can put this in your office. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Like, again, and if this is the kind of decorative style you enjoy, these are beautiful. Absolutely.
But I will say there are videos like kids play with these again, where they're interchanging
Well,
this stuff and
those
that kind of
kids
stuff.
are
So it's
snob.
also like kid toys. I mean, you can see that's a kid's hand there, I think.
What I don't get is, maybe it's the price,
Or a
but
little
can
man.
you imagine if they put these into IKEA?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
They would
Yeah.
have to be mass produced, so the wood
Right,
quality
that's the
would go
truth.
down.
That's
you
true.
know what
They'd
I
have to
mean?
be
Yeah.
mass
They do have that IKEA quality.
They kind of do, yeah.
IKEA maybe is the wrong way to say it, but there's something about they're sort of, they scream European.
They do, yes.
I don't know how else to put it,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I
which
love
is
it.
lovely, but they're very pretty.
Yep.
We were talking about Marie Kondoing and the minimal. This is me. It's that minimalistic style
Yeah.
that
Yes.
still it touches so many. It's cute. It's not nostalgia. I don't know. Pulls at your heartstrings. Whatever. I love this.
I
so
kind
much.
of love the fact that the difference between the cat, the mouse, and the fox is so subtle, but it's there, and that kind of points to that minimalism. It's like there's not a huge difference, but yeah, that is a fox, that is a mouse, that is a
You
cat.
said you want that previous stuff. You can get it with this pledge here. This is the
Right,
entire collection for only a low cost of $11.69.
But no, if you go to their website, because it has each of their things are groups of 5. It's like 5 new animals each one, and I like their last collection best. And I would want all 5 of those. I think 3 of the 5 I absolutely adored. One was a penguin, and their first set looks completely different. It's like a crocodile and elephant, and I didn't care for that one as much. But
yeah, these are great.
I did love that somebody
Are
called
any
you
of
out.
them-
You'd pay $1,000 for Marvel United, but not $40 for a wooden.
Yes!
Ouch.
Also, I'm not paying $1,000 for Marvel United.
Over the whole course of every.
Shut up, Camilla!
All right.
Do they have a donkey?
Oh, you
With
have
a
to
little
look.
juice bottle next to it.
I don't
All right.
know. We should go
great.
down that rabbit hole.
Have you ever wanted to carry a blade and a flashlight together?
Yes,
Can't you get this at like
I feel
everywhere?
like you can.
I think you can.
Also, this is going to be 100%. You're going to forget you have this in your backpack when you go through the
And
airport.
then TSA is going to be like, oh, thank you for the
You're
gift.
gonna lose it. Yeah.
Or they're not going to notice it, which could be even worse.
Yeah. Oh,
This is cute. It kind of looks like a whistle. I really enjoyed watching him do things with this knife, though.
Yes.
I was laughing to myself watching the guy like peel a cucumber with this.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's an X-Acto knife, my man.
Oh, just pop it out. Don't do that.
Right.
Does it use regular X-Acto knives? So is it replaceable, or is
No,
this
it's
like?
no.
So it's not. That's what I thought. So I mean, like 2 months later,
Yeah,
you
this
have a
is-
useless.
Yeah, but you're only using it. You shouldn't be using it all the time. Just for emergencies.
The point is to use it, though.
Or
you
when
know
I
what
buy
mean?
cucumbers.
Read a book in the
that's
dark, and
correct.
if you
How am I
don't, and if
supposed to
someone
peel a
attacks
cucumber?
you stab them.
That's right. Like that Yeti that came out behind Mark. If you'd only had one of these, it would be a completely different scenario.
All right.
Oh, goodness. Yes! eyeSpa.
The eyeSpa. Spa
doing
massage that
well.
refreshes your eyes.
Am I kind of crazy though that I don't think this is a bad idea? I mean,
No.
if it's as light, they make it sound like it's super light. It's not that expensive.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, I
guess, I don't
disagree.
know,
So
I don't know.
I have really, I have
If
really
you have
dry,
dry eyes,
bad
maybe,
eyes
yeah.
since I had eye surgery. I have really dry eyes, and so I have like a moist pack that I'm supposed to be using on
Okay.
them to help with that.
Oh.
And so if I could just do something like this rather than that specialty
This
stuff,
does
I
look like
go
the
through.
first scene of a horror movie,
little
though, where they're
bit,
like,
yeah.
everyone wear these, and then one day the guy's like, switch, now you're a zombie.
But it's more something I don't want to get off a Kickstarter.
I agree.
That's my thing. It's like I don't think it's a
Yeah,
bad
me too.
idea, but also
This
I
is-
want to.
This is a sharper image product,
Yes.
or some at the
Yes.
mall.
You want to, I'm
Brownstone,
worried.
not Brookstone.
Plus, again, I don't know. They're like, oh, yeah, there's like vibrating, and there's like zapping you with this and that. And I'm like, it's my eyes, man. No. I don't trust you nearly enough
Yeah.
to wrap some apparatus around my head and have it blast me in the eyes with your vibration technology. Also, these pictures are clearly the same pictures that you photoshopped.
Photoshop.
You could have at least moved to the take a different picture of the same person.
I've seen some
so
dark
true.
eyes in my
You're
time.
right, the
but
eyebrows
that-
are the same.
that-
Well, the
definitely-
light shining in the eyes is the same. They're
Right.
clearly the same
Yeah, yeah.
image.
Oh,
That's definitely like
boo!
broken nose,
For
not
sure.
broken
That
nose.
looks like
yeah.
a broken nose,
Yeah,
is right,
yeah.
yeah. Looks
Yeah.
like-
And I love how it still is like at the bottom lid right there. You can see they didn't quite Photoshop it up high enough.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to get it till I noticed that Photoshop thing.
You were gonna get it? We've talked you out of like 3 projects here.
all right.
This is a
Get
good
this.
show for you.
We've saved you a lot of money today.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Marvel United and put my pick of the week on it. There we go. Anyone else? Just me? Just me. All right.
I'm really excited
No,
about
it's mine
but-
too. Yeah. Put it up there for me too.
That's right.
And I'm very excited about it, but I'm gonna go something a little different.
Perfume
when it
lover.
comes in,
I'm gonna go with the
when it
perfume
comes in,
one.
gosh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't.
I'll go
Really?
for- yeah, why not?
You talked me out of getting it.
No, I'm saying I'm a
Where's
little
the perfume
concerned.
one?
It's definitely
There you go, the
not
Leprechaun's,
Leprechaun crap.
There it is.
There
This
you
is
go.
right.
Have
The Fairy of
concerns doesn't
Perfume.
mean it can't
Yeah,
be.
just because. Yeah, I still think that it looks like a clever game, and I do. Again, I'm very. Asian publishers were very reticent to get into crowdfunding to the States for a long time, and I'm just supporting. I want more games from other parts of the world available for people, as many people as possible. Just slightly different sensibilities on things, I think, is good, right?
So unique.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
unique look. It's a unique mechanism. to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to give it a shot.
Yeah, this looks very good.
Yep.
All right, Camilla.
All right, so it was hard for me, and I won't pick the little foxes.
You can!
No, but I had 3 contenders, and I'll go with the other one. The other one is going to be the Cthulhu Roll and Write.
There you
I
go.
think that, again, the artwork, do I love it?
Amazing.
That was
But, like-
that was actually that's my second pick.
Really?
If it wasn't Marvel week,
Yeah,
it would be this one.
really.
And I'm not even a big fan of the heavy roll and writes, I
Right.
think, but this
Yeah.
one catches my eye.
This, I've not been intrigued by one of the heavy roll and writes. That's not a part of that genre that I've felt. Hadrian's Wall, I haven't really cared. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe one day I'll get to it. This is one I was like, okay, this would be my jumping off point into a heavier roll and write. Like I said, I have some concerns about it and that kind of stuff, but that being said, I actively want to try this game. I think the artwork fits for it. I think it's a unique take on a theme that we see over and over. And maybe, again, this is going to be my jumping off point into heavier roll and writes. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yep.
I think
And
it's your jumping on point, by
Did
the
I
way.
say jumping off point?
You did.
Ah, that's right.
Twice.
You were
Twice?
gonna say a jumping off point. I'm going to play Marvel United. All right.
I
here
like
in a
Marvel
here
United.
in a week or so, it's going to be my Marvel United week, basically. Something that just launched that I'm very excited about. We haven't talked about it yet, but we will.
Man.
Is the Marvel in it?
It is not.
Then you know
But
what?
it's
Don't even bring it up.
Space
okay?
related.
All
We
right.
got a super chat. By
I thought you were going to pick DC. Yes, thank you for the super chat to
Yeah, DC.
the person who said it. Good morning, they said.
Good morning.
Was it
Anthony.
Anthony,
Good
baby?
morning.
Folks, that's it for Crowdsurfing. We'll be back in 2 hours, a little bit less than 2 hours,
Wow.
with the top 100 of all time, 30 through 21.
Woo!
That's good.
you're
That's like
getting there.
right
Those
outside
are-
the really good one.
Yeah, it's like
tell you what.
almost a game worth talking about.
Wow. We'll see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Z Garcia.
All righty, see y'all later.
Bye.